Smack Off 2011. We go to Richmond. Kicking off the 2011 Smack Off, none other than Jeff in Richmond. He's back, the former champ. My man, Jeff, what is up?
Jim, thanks for the vine, and thanks for the time. And let me first of all say, Jim, to the millions and the millions of my peeps, Jim, across the fruited plain, Jim, that finally, Jim, the dirtiest player in the game has come back to the jungle. And make no mistake about it, Jim, anytime you see the name Jeff from Richmond on the marquee, I can guarantee you this, Jim, that business is about to pick up. Jim, I want to start things off by referencing the words of the late great actor Jim Heath Ledger. Remember the classic Batman remake, Jim, The Dark Knight, when Heath Ledger played the villain, the Joker, and he talked in the film about his violent upbringing at the hands of his father, who carved up his mother's grill and then said to the young boy, "Why so serious, son? Why so serious, son?" And, Jim, that's exactly what the morally bankrupt clones are saying today. Why is Jeff from Richmond so serious about bringing the most coveted prize in all of sports talk radio back to the great Commonwealth of Virginia? Why is Jeff from Richmond so serious about becoming, Jim, the two-time Smack Off champion? Why is Jeff from Richmond so serious, Jim, about being recognized as the only legitimate sports radio god in this industry? Well, clones, the answer's quite simple, because that's how I roll. Moving along, Jim, I want to call out some pro athletes who've been producing crops of illegitimate children at alarming rates. Number one, Jim, Baltimore Ravens linebacker Ray Lewis, 6x4, 6 kids, 4 different women. Memo to Ray, feel free to put on a hat. Number 2, Jim, former Chicago Bulls baller Jason Caffey, 10x8, Jim, 10x8. It appears Jay Caffey's true passion, Jim, is not round ball, but impregnating an army of random skanks. Number 3, Jim, the new superstar to this infamous club, NFL defensive back, Jim, Antonio Cromartie, at the tender age of 25, 7x5. Jim, A. Cromartie is obviously weak on his prevent defense on and off the field. And finally, Jim, number 4, Denver Bronco running back Travis Henry, Jim, 9x9, all by the age of 28. My prediction for T. Henry is this, Jim. By the age of 30, T. Henry will have enough illegitimate kids to form an entire NFL defense. And listen to this stat, Jim, the only NFL running back in history who will have more children per year than yards per carry. Next topic, Jim, we're celebrating the 15-year anniversary this week, Jim, of the gift that just keeps on giving, Jim. That's right, Jim, Viagra, the little blue miracle. Memo to all you crank meds, Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, Insight. Stop running those cheesy TV commercials on my TV about more size and better performance, and stop forcing me to explain to my 11-year-old daughter what ED is. I'm sick of it, Jim. I would be just fine if I never, and I mean ever, heard one of those cheesy commercials again. And one final point, Jim, the media's running this today. 90-year-old Playboy magnate Hugh Hefner has taken so much Viagra in his lifetime, Jim, that when he's buried, they're going to have to keep his casket top open. In closing, Jim, the more things change, the more things remain the same. Every morning, Jim, I roll out of the rack and I enjoy the fit and feel of a $3,000 custom-made Armani suit. I'm still married, Jim, to a woman who's not only the mother of my children, but who's physically a stick of dynamite. And I bump around the Commonwealth each and every day in my luxury sled, and I listen to the Jim Rome Show. So, clones, whether you like it or you don't like it, learn to love it, because I'm the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. So what you gonna do, clones? What you gonna do when the chosen one, Jeff from Richmond, rolls back into the smack-off and runs wild on you? Jim, thank you for your time. Aloha means goodbye. War George W. Bush. War Mr. Automatic J. Stu. Without the nicks and cuts of a blade. And until next time, Jim, good night now!
Jeff in Richmond is back. All right, let's do it. Let's keep moving. Dan in D.C. looking for his first title ever. My man, what's up, Dan?
What is up? Gotta love the smack off. I've been waiting for this day like Gloria James at a valet stand. And ironically, I'm also drunk and angry right now. How about this woman, Romy? When the cop questioned her, she responded, "I don't trust your kind." Who knew Mel Gibson was LeBron James's mom? In fairness, though, whose mother hasn't slugged a valet attendant outside a hotel while drunk at 4 a.m.? Jim, I've been a participant, like you said, and a listener to the Smack Off for over 10 years now, and I'm still having trouble coming up with the criteria for a winning call. Is it the funniest call? Couldn't be, because Vic won last year, and yes, the man has style, the man has flash, but his calls are as funny as a Paula Poundstone comedy set, or Jay Moore trying to play a leading man. Vic, you're near San Francisco, right? Your future is not in comedy. However, I do think you have the chops to become an excellent mime. Then you can mime your calls to Rome, and we would enjoy them more. Start by practicing the opening the door bit. Then you can work your way up to walking in a windstorm. And if you're ever able to climb out of a box, then you can go down to the corner of Haight and Ashbury and make yourself a nice living, or at least a better living. From this point forward, I want you calling in as Vic, the San Francisco mime. Are Jay Moore and his team of writers coming in today? Jay, I enjoyed your performance in the movie Hereafter, and I thought you deserved an Oscar nomination. Does the Academy still have the category of fattest actor who also fills in for Jim Rome? I'm just joking, Jay. You were horrible in that movie. Not that anyone in the country saw it. Congratulations, you can make a movie with a bankable star like Matt Damon go straight to video. I knew they shouldn't have put you in the trailer. Gary Unmarried is really good, though. I love you as Charlie Sheen's brother. Or is that John Cryer? I don't know. I get the two of you so confused. Romy, I love following you, Jay, Stu, and KB on Twitter, and it really is good at gaining some insight into the twisted minds of some of the clones. With that said, you're welcome to come follow me at Dan from DC, and as an incentive to all the clones out there, I'm willing to give away $1,000 in cold cash to my millionth follower. You hear that, Jay Moore? $1,000 cash. Just be Dan from DC's millionth follower. I know they canceled Gary Unwatchable, so that money could definitely help bridge the gap until you find your next movie to ruin. Joe in the OC, it's The Voice. That's why you can't win. With China gaining on America, Romy can't risk having his smack-off winner sound like Peter Brady going through puberty. The Chi-Coms could sense weakness and strike. We've all seen Red Dawn. Hey, Terrence, I'm anxiously awaiting your call to the smack-off, mostly because someone needs to know you're still alive. I do not make fun of shut-ins, and I won't in your case, so good luck today. I hope you have your dialing wand ready and an extra oxygen tank available in case your call goes long. Hey, Trapper, do you know how many public decency laws you violated with your 6-minute call last year? Tramps like us, baby, we were born to bore people to death. All right, I don't want to forget about my sports takes here. Ben Roethlisberger's getting married, Romy. What a sweet, sweet story. How many Jaeger bombs did it take for her to nod yes to his proposal? But I do wish Ben and his bride the best. She's going to need an immunity to media criticism, and also roofies. She will definitely need an immunity to roofies. Romy, last month if you told me 5 thick, burly young studs would be taking home the NCAA basketball title, I'd have told you, of course, the Connecticut women won again. They win every year. But this year the men's team did it? Very surprising. And how about Gino Auriemma bemoaning the fact that only 6,000 people showed up for their NCAA tournament games? Gino, the fact that 6,000 people can watch that sport without averting their eyes is a testament to their strong stomachs and ability to withstand pain. You should be celebrating them. The public is slowly catching on to the fact that women's basketball is a joke, and yet they keep trying to come up with ways to make the game more exciting and higher scoring. But in reality, Jim, if they really wanted to increase scoring in women's basketball, they would have to start awarding points for turnovers, air balls, and general chaos on the basketball floor. Loved watching the Masters yesterday. What a great event, and I'm rooting hard for Ro Ishikawa, the Japanese golfer, who's been so generous throughout this recent crisis. Rowe just shot a 1 under 71 yesterday, but in fairness, he was a bit distracted because his brother back in Japan was injured after he fell off his bike. Yeah, it turns out he got hit by a whale. Romy, I think this is my year, and I promise to serve the jungle well in my role and responsibility as King of Smack. God bless all who dwell in the jungle. Late.
Dan in D.C. Trapper. My man Trap, what's up?
Brother man, never has there been so much smack assembled in one place, with the exception of when Hunter Thompson dined alone. It is an honor to be here. Thank you for the invitation. I get to follow Jeff from Richmond. Forget Brood, I already won the door prize. And very nice read, Danny boy. You want to bag on Jay Moore? You should borrow some of those script writers of his. I got to start with the 30 pieces of silver awards, Jim, for the year. First, smart money would have to be on the NFL and the Players Union, where getting these two to negotiate is like getting Chang and Eng in a kayak. That's Siamese twins clones. Also, Chad Ochocinco makes this year's Dirty 30 list, making mad bones, hawking everything from kicks, gear, and mad Chadmobiles to 2 million tweet freaks. It is so over the top that rumor has it even the Nigerian lottery guys are saying, "Shut up!" From the greed heads to the downright duplicitous first, you know I got to bring this guy up. Little Donnie Rumsfeld. Bad enough you get fired by the only Yaley in history with a 60 IQ, but calling the Raiders evil after directing that guerrilla theater at Abu Ghraib, words fail. But the worst of the worst, Bones. Yeah, Barry Bones, his sworn testimony that he didn't know he was on roids. If your face holds more water than Shamu, if your 7 1/4 hat size suddenly becomes eligible for a Mardi Gras float, if your cabeza got so big Michael Jackson pre-mortem put in a bid for your bones, then maybe you had a clue. And no, we are not going to pull a Greg in Vegas and get run early with that line, except this message brought to you by the California Raisin Commission. And for runner-up, nice to see my fair and balanced pals at Fox News showing the governor of Arizona acknowledging a, quote, few unanswered questions on her tortured immigration bill. The last time there were so many unanswered questions on a TV show, I think Snooki was a contestant on Jeopardy. Speaking of Jersey Shore, since I'm a Jersey guy and I got to stick up for me and the Slam Man, the worst thing we worried about washing up down the shore as a kid from New York was medical waste. No moss, obviously. But that said, you got to admit, anything that makes Courtney Love or the Kardashian bimbos look classy is way dope. Last, as for Blaze and Chad and Jeff in Richmond and all you clones out there that have to go to the commie card and believing rhyming trapper with crapper makes you the next Walt Whitman, get this and get it right, fools, just once. I've been on this block for over 17 years, and outside of the host and God Almighty himself, none of you jungle eunuchs has the game or the muscle to take me out. From the No-Tell Hotel in Tampa Bay to the basement at Harlem Nights in H-Town, from Portland to S.A. and Buffalo to Dago, I've been around. I made my bones with the Detolas, with J.T., Kerwin, Shawnee, the Roach, the Mayor, Silk, and I-Ray, back when you were holed up somewhere in a tree fort with your first Playboy. I was here before syndication. I was here before Travis. I'm here after Travis. I was in the Murph the day Scrooge found religion, I-Ray found Jerry, and Rome pinch hit for Larry King and went yard. Like I said, I've been around. And if you want to go to the commie card, get this last thing. There's no politics in sports or smack. Pucks don't lie. Balls don't fabricate. They're truth tellers. If it goes in the net, it was a good shot. If it ends up in the Chiefs' seats with you fools, it was a bad pitch. Don't whine to me about bad bounces on the field or here in the smack off. You show me where it ended up. Show me the one rule we live by in the jungle. You show me scoreboard. If you're in the smack off year after year after year, including when your mind was circling the moon and Pluto, well, that's the truth, babe. The cold, hard truth. And if you're getting your ass kicked by a commie, well, the cold, hard truth is your game needs a whole lot of work. So know this, clones, when the sun also rises again on the great Garden State tomorrow from Jersey to Dana Point and up here to Pelican Bay, I will be here again and you won't. And you know the rest of this tune because I'm Trapper and you're not. So I got to run, clones. Sorry I can't hang with you, but I got some criminal butt to kick in the courts of this great country. You have a great week at the 7-Eleven. Tramps like us, baby. Jimmy, thank you for the dime. I'm out of here.
Trapper, Dana Point.